What makes you different? What do you do best? Ever struggle to find the right words to describe yourself? Jean MacDonald, DTM, is a communication and business strategist, corporate sales trainer, and author. She's published 2 books and now has a new book coming out spring 2024 called Be Wild, Be Crazy, Be You. Open your heart and mind and feel the confidence. She was the previous owner of a multi-million-dollar commercial insurance agency. And from Mary Kay Cosmetics, she has earned the use of 10 cars, including 5 of those pink Cadillacs, the trophy on wheels. She's also a brilliant watercolorist, a novice race car driver with the need for speed, a professional business grandmother, and a personal mentor of mine who I'm proud to call a friend. Let's learn as she speaks about the art of being fascinating. From Pittsboro, North Carolina, fasten your seatbelts and welcome Jean MacDonald.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. I'm so pleased to be here. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to be on this call today. I'm going to share my screen. So give us just a second. And there we go. So hopefully everybody can see my screen. If you wouldn't mind to put your name so I know who's on our wonderful roster today. And also, if you'd like to participate, we're going to try to unmute since we don't have too many people and maybe participate, or you can put something in the chat and Dan will guide us with that today. And I look forward to giving you some ideas, tips, tricks that I've learned over the years. So here is our agenda today. We're going to learn how to fascinate. What is how to fascinate? Tips for building your communication brand and tips on follow-up. So that's a little bit about what's going to happen today. How does the world see you at your best? Has anybody here ever heard of how to fascinate or taken the assessment? Has anybody ever taken that assessment? Do we have anybody in the chat? Okay. How to fascinate. I found this several years ago, and it is an assessment that's 28 questions, takes about 5 minutes, and it helps you develop your brand. What makes you different, and what do you do best? The gal who started this company, her name is Sally Hogshead. What a name, huh? But it's a name you won't forget. But what a delightful gal. She would go into corporations. She was in advertising, and they would say to her, Sally, what makes me different? What do we do best in our company? And it may be Coca-Cola, it could be Apple, it could be Mini Cooper, and it was Nike. She helped develop that swish for Nike. So all around, she would come in, they would say, what makes us different? What do we do best? She realized years after doing this that it wasn't the product, but it was the people behind the product. So what makes us different and what we do best, we are all a brand. And that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today. Fascinate. When we fascinate our listener, it's an intense focus. They're more likely to connect with us and remember us. You're not distracted. You're caught in a trance, captivated, and fascinated. It's your ability to bring your message to others. In NIA, it is our selling proposition. So how do we make this clear to be able to help others understand what makes us different and what we do best? It's good to be better to be different, And different is better than better. Let me say that again. It's good to be better to be different, but different is better than better. So let me open it up and ask people, what is it that you feel makes you different? Would anybody like to chime in or leave us something in the chat?
Would you be okay with people unmuting themselves, Jean? So they
Sure, absolutely.
All right, anyone feel free to chime in or enter that in the chat. What makes you different?
Yeah, I'll dare to go first.
Okay.
So I understand the value of me, right? I am not Daniello. I can't do everything that he does the way he does it. I can study him. He can teach me, right? I can mirror him. I can shadow him, but I cannot be him. And that is the value of him, right? As a human being.
Absolutely.
And when you are in tune with that, with the value of you, that's when you understand that which makes you different, right? That which makes you completely unique.
Correct.
Regardless of what you do, where you live, what demographic, there's only one you.
You're right.
So
and we're all different,
once you're
right,
in tune
Lou?
with that, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. When I found this assessment, which was over almost 10 years ago, it had only been developed 12 years ago. And when I took this assessment, it blew my mind because I knew how to communicate, but I didn't really sometimes know how to put my message out there where people understood me. We can take psychological tests like DISC, Myers-Briggs, Strength Finders, Colby. And this is all, when we take that, that's a psychological test that says, oh, this is who I am. Throw it in the drawer and go on your way. But what I love about this assessment is it helps me show the world who I am, what makes me different, and what I do best. I want you to see these two people on the screen, Amy being one of them, Jennifer, who's also here today. And I've worked with both of these gals with their Fascinate assessments. Amy is that passion, innovative person. So she is bold. She brings originality. She has creative insight and engaging collaboration. On the other hand, Jennifer brings those cutting-edge solutions. She's open-minded and she's decisive problem solver. She has that open-minded outlook. Now, when you look at Jennifer, who's the maverick leader, we use these archetypes, and I happen to be a maverick leader also with the way I communicate. What she does is innovate with new and creative ideas. How she does it is she leads through confident decision-making and forward-thinking action. And why she does it is to build emotional connection through strong relationships and inspire engagement. Jennifer, tell them a little bit about what you do, not a 60-second, but tell them a little bit about what you do.
I'm a patient advocate. I run a company founded by my mother, and we support seniors and their families as they navigate the challenges of aging, and particularly in the medical realm.
They do a phenomenal job. And I remember when Jennifer's mom took this assessment and her archetype, and I know that's hard to understand, she's known as the victor. And she runs with prestige. And her second is that relationship building in the trust of doing again and again. And when her mom took this, she said, this isn't me. She says, prestige. She says, I don't want to be number one. I said, Diane, That's not who you are. You're a problem solver. You understand the people and you want to find the solution to help the siblings, to help the patient, so they have peace of mind. And their new, just simple little tagline that we're working with is scared to prepared. And I love this because the client comes to her and they're usually pretty scared. The sibling, the aunt, the daughter, whoever comes to her, and they're confused and scared. And what Jennifer's team does, and they're a group of nurses, they prepare this client to give them peace of mind. How great is this? From scared to prepared. On the other hand, Amy, in working with her, what she does best is build connection and strong relationships. She embraces opportunities and changes the game with cutting-edge thinking. And why she does it, she elevates the status quo and delivers excellence. She uses that bold originality in her working with her clients. She uses those creative insights, but she also, through NIA, engages and brings the collaboration together. So, Amy, tell them a little bit about what you do.
Sure. I do two things. So I am an NIA group facilitator, and I also create brand identities for small businesses. So basically both, everything you described in a very flattering way does suit exactly what I do.
So when I look at Amy, and one of the things we have in the toolbox with this tool is what we call instant impressions. And one of the nuggets that was in the instant impressions that I read about Amy that she could use, with my spirited, mindful attitude, I connect well with my coworkers and I bring cohesion to any project. Now, undoubtedly, she does this very well. She is now developing the cover for my new book and all the branding material. And I feel at peace when I work with her, and I don't feel confused at all. She works hard to bring organization to the project, and her goal is to connect with her peers and establish long-term relationship with her clients. Does this sound like Amy? Absolutely. And all this is done for us so we don't have to redo it. So when I look at this Fascinate product, that we look at the 7 ways people communicate through innovation, that creativity, that passion, which is the language of relationships, that power, which brings the confidence and the goal setting, that prestige, which brings the excellence, that trust, which brings the stability, that mystique person who's a good listener, and that alert person who's great with details. What makes you different? What do you do best? It's like these sneakers here. We're all different. But how do we show ourselves off like I just showed you with Jennifer and Amy? How do we really maximize our ability to communicate clearly, to bring our selling propositions instead of saying, well, I'm a mortgage broker. Oh, I'm a realtor. How do we really say it different so people in 9 seconds have a crystal clear idea of what makes us different and what we do best? I've been in the consulting business for now about 17 years. And when I found this product, it really changed my life. But it also made me realize I don't want to be known as a coach. Because if I get up and I say, I'm Jean MacDonald, I'm a coach, what happens? Everybody goes, oh, I know what you do. And they don't listen. But I get up and I say, I pioneer ideas, with cutting edge strategy to assist individuals and teams to grow and win. I'm Jean MacDonald. I'm a communication and business strategist. Let me show you how to outsmart your competition. That says who I am in 9 seconds. How do you bring that about? So let me ask you, what's the challenge you face today with either getting your message out there or working with LinkedIn or working in a company where maybe you're not heard? Tell me a challenge right now that you face. Who would
So
like
again,
to
everyone, feel free to unmute yourselves if you have a challenge.
Sure.
I'll chime in.
Okay.
All right. So what I do specifically is it's very much a niche around leveraging business credit, and very few people know about it. So only about 1 in 5 business owners ever even look at their business credit. So it's a very misunderstood option to get funding for business owners. So education and knowledge of what's available to them is a challenge.
Sure. So if that's the case, how are you going to show people what makes you different and what you do best so it's understood?
So I have my own story of being a business owner, and I share that with as many people as willing to listen, so that they'll understand that what I'm doing now to help them from a business credit perspective is something that I wish I had known with some of the other businesses I had, because it could have a major impact on the longevity and the success of a company. So having personally been on the side of the fence that they are on and seeing the challenges that they face and experience them, I do my best to convey my passion to help them in a way that I did not have help when I could have used it.
So Kane, give me 2 points of what you do.
I help business owners get the maximum amount of capital to fund their business, and I protect all of their personal assets in the process.
Okay. Do you help with companies that are looking to go out of business or just come into business?
So any business that needs money to start, to operate, or to grow their business. And yeah, if a business owner is looking to sell in the next year or 2, we help prop up the credibility and fundability of that business to get them the highest price tag when they are looking to sell.
I like the word prop up. I like that. That's what I'm always looking for. I'm that creative person. I run with that innovation. And whenever I'm talking to somebody, my vision is getting wider and thinking, okay, now how can we show Kane what makes him different and what he does best? Anybody else want to chime in at all and tell me a challenge that's going on in your business today?
I'll go if that's okay.
Okay, Amy.
So with my design business, I've recently restructured and am looking for a new type of client. And I've been having trouble differentiating, I guess, communicating the sort of elevated client that I'm looking for the new elevated experience, if you will.
Okay. So you're looking for a client that has more expendable dollars, has a larger marketing department or a larger advertising department or branding department, correct? Branding department.
Exactly. Looking for established companies, not new companies, not startups, people who've been in business and been successful for a while.
Okay. So now when you're out in the community and you're talking about this, based on who you are and what you do, look inside NIA and see who other people represent, maybe looking on LinkedIn to see the companies they represent that have a baseline of 5 to 10 or 12 or even more employees, that might help you to move your business forward. So for instance, I'm meeting with the client Friday. They have 17 employees, and this could be an ideal client for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about that. I know 99% of you don't know me on here, but I have to tell you, I am a connector. And I'm so pleased you're on here today. And I'm willing to help you find or make the connections wherever I can. I just made a connection today. I don't know, many of the guys might know who Jim Messier is. He played for the New York Yankees. He was in my last book. He had a club foot. He was a dynamic pitcher. And now he runs his own sales speaking business, and he teaches how to win the game. And I just introduced him to a friend of mine's son who wants to get a job with the New York Yankees. This is what I do best, is make those introductions. So if you look on my LinkedIn and there's somebody that you want to be introduced to, if I have a connection with them, I'm more than glad to assist you. Anybody else have a challenge they want to talk about a little bit?
Also, feel free to light up the chat, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Lou.
Yeah, the preconceived notions that are attached to a financial advisor.
Okay.
I'm not a traditional financial advisor. I don't work for commissions. I work for a flat fee.
Mm-hmm.
That enables me to work with a broad spectrum of people. I've got my high net worth clients. I've also got a 20-year-old kid who lives at home. I charge him $500 a year, right? But when I don't even like to say I'm a financial advisor, because people more often than not will assume, oh, well, you work with rich people. You can't help me.
Mm-hmm.
So breaking through that, what I like to tell people is I help them control how their calendars and how their checkbooks impact their values in their life. And they say, well, how do you do that? Well, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What do you care about? And they list these things, and it's God and my family and my wife and so forth and so on. All right. So if I looked at your calendar and I looked at your ledger, would I see that? Because it's where all your time and your money goes. And if that's not in alignment, we need to make some changes. And that's what I help my clients do. Right. So that's a long drawn out version of I'm a financial advisor.
Sure. Who do you feel is a good power partner for you?
Partner as in a center of influence for me?
Yeah.
Or
yeah. Center of influence. Who's a good person that you love to meet with that thinks the same way you do? Know, like, and trust.
Bankers and real and estate attorneys.
Okay.
Are the two. Yeah, bankers get asked questions. As I've got a meeting on Monday with the VP of a bank. There are people constantly being asked, hey, do you have someone here that can help me with some investments? I want to learn some things. And they don't have anyone. And that funnels people into TikTok and YouTube and Googling, right?
Yeah.
So yes, for sure, bankers.
So if a banker is one, why not set up a program to do it in the bank one day after work, where their clients can come and get some information from you?
You're underpaid. You are. That's for sure. And this banking thing is actually literally, as I just met her yesterday at a networking event. And I asked her who handles her investments for her clients, and she's a smaller community bank, which I tend to prefer anyway. She said, nobody. I said, okay, well, let's do something where, you can help your people a little bit more, and I can help you do that. So we're going to meet on Monday. But yeah, that could absolutely be a thing for sure. Now that you said that.
Do a nice little presentation at the bank, help her to build clients or bring some energy with her clients so they feel, like, wow, they're bringing me extra things. It helps her grow. It helps you grow. Okay.
Love it.
Not only
Yeah.
that, you need to talk to Jennifer, who's on here. Jennifer is in the healthcare field. She works with so many siblings where their parents and are in the need of making change. And with that change, there's financial needs that need to be met. We have to look outside the box. And this is what I do for a living. I help people really navigate and look in a different way. And thank you for sharing, both of you, today. Wonder why my screen will not. Okay. 85% of our financial success is the ability to communicate, negotiate, and lead. Think about this. We can find the other 15%. That's why I have a team that does all my marketing, sets up all kinds of other things. They don't want me in that stuff. They don't want me to do the printing or set up the programs or do the book covers or any of this stuff. I want a bow tied around it so I can go out and I can present and be the best I can be for the people that I'm in front of. So think about this. If you're someone that owns a small business and you feel like you're the chief of everything, then go to your local high school or community college, get an intern, get a high school kid that can work on the computer faster, navigate it better than we ever will be able to, unless we're in the tech world, and teach them about your business. When I owned my commercial insurance agency, I went and I hired 2 high school gals at very minimum wage. Today, these 2 women both are senior underwriters for major insurance companies, making well into 6 figures. Hire these kids. You'll find a good group of people that can really assist you to taking you away from what you don't need to do, because you need to be out there negotiating, leading, and communicating. Now, here's one of those secrets that's in my chest. It's in my toolkit. Who here has heard of Toastmasters? Yes. I have been involved with Toastmasters 26 years. Why? Because A, it's helped my business grow exponentially. B, I've been able to mentor new people. C, it has elevated me to know people all over the world. And it has helped me to prepare. I spoke at Toastmasters on Monday night, knowing that I had to prepare for today, knowing that I'm speaking on Friday. It just always gives me that extra level of preparation. This is one of the best kept secrets, and yet I share it all the time, because Toastmasters, it's all about you. It's not about networking. It's all about you, your leadership, your confidence, the ability to do a presentation and keep within time, your ability to run a slide presentation and make it crisp and clear, your ability to do a speech and feel like it's compelling and you're bringing your message around. I just ask you, if you haven't, take the time to look at this. Amy and Jennifer have both been involved with Toastmasters, and I know for sure it's helped both of them along the way. Now, here's something that's very near and dear to me, so I'm going to switch lanes for just a minute. Follow-up. I want you to think about follow-up. I wrote this book, Finding the Fortune, because I interviewed almost 1,000 people countrywide. And 3 things came to mind when I asked them when I was writing this book. 1 was organization, 2 was time management, and 3 was follow-up. And most people, follow-up was the number 1. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I haven't done that. But look at these stats. 97% make 1 to 2 attempts, and it gets lower and lower. And the kicker is 80% of the sales are made on the 7th to 12th follow-up. Well, I'm going to tell you a story that's so funny to me. It happened to me. I was working with Uline, the box company. I did a big presentation there. And the guy that ran the presentation said to me, we need you to come back. We need you to train a different department. I said, Ed, I'm more than glad to do this. I'll follow up with you in a day or two. He said, that's fine. How about the end of the week? I did. I sent him an email, followed up, nothing. Followed up again, left him a voicemail because I couldn't get him on the phone, nothing. Send another email. Ed, maybe I'm off your radar. Nothing. I emailed him again. I didn't hear anything. So now I'm a little bit irritated because he was the one that said he wanted to talk to me. So I went to Uline's catalog online and I bought some boxes. It's a 3x3 box. I bought a pair of chattering teeth. I wound them up, bought some shred, put it in the box with the chattering teeth, and I made this postcard, let's chat. I wrote a note on it and I said, Ed, I've been reaching out and haven't gotten you. I thought it would be time for us to have a chat. Bingo, I got him. Took about 7 times to get a hold of him. I went to his office. On his desk, what's there? The chattering teeth. He said to me, everybody comes by my desk and all they do is play with the chattering teeth. I said, oh, do you think I'm memorable? He laughed. He hired me. Not only did he hire me, but I was working with Uline for about 6 months. What are you doing to really maximize your follow-up? And I say that because so many people forget where the fortune is. So Lou, if you're trying to get a hold of this banker and all of a sudden she doesn't get back to you, what are you going to do next? And if she doesn't get back to you, then what are you going to do? And if she ghosts you again, what are you going to do? I'd be dropping in the bank. And I'd drop in the bank with a Starbucks card. I'd leave it with the teller in a note and say, hey, could you give this to Amy or whatever her name is? And tell her I'm ready for that cup of coffee. We need to be different today. We don't want to run with the herd. We want to set ourselves apart. What makes us different? And what do we do best to outsmart our competition? We know we bring value, but until we can get in front of people, how can we bring that value? So I have to follow this up with a fabulous story. Oh, I love Dunkin' Donuts. In fact, I just found out that Dunkin' Donuts is going to move to my little town of Pittsboro, North Carolina. In the 80s, I insured over 300 Dunkin' Donuts. Who would have thought? Back then, you probably wouldn't want to eat in a Dunkin' Donuts because I had been in every kitchen. I was a risk manager. I knew how these donuts were made. Now they're not made that way. They're made in a distribution center and sent to the stores. But it was the next journey in my life that Dunkin' Donuts showed up. And I was with Mary Kay. I had just been with them probably, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. I had changed lanes from insurance to Mary Kay. I know you may laugh. I was still a businesswoman. I worked with long haul truckers, longshoremen, and restaurants and changed lanes to sell lipstick, lotion, and lifestyle. Who would have thought? But it was a business. And it didn't matter what you sell. If you know how to work your business, you can be successful. Well, I'm standing in line at a Dunkin' Donuts, and there's a woman in front of me, a woman in back of me, and a guy in back of her. The woman in front of me goes, oh my gosh, I should own one of these. Look at the line. I said, no, I don't think I'd want to own a Dunkin' Donuts. You have to get up at 3 a.m. to make the donuts. She said, oh, I never thought about that. She says, so what do you do? And I said, well, I give women a checkup from the neck up. And she said, what? I said, I'm with Mary Kay Cosmetics and I help women look good and feel good. She goes, oh my gosh. She said, I was just in a meeting the other day with the Girl Scout leaders, and we're looking for a Mary Kay gal. The girls can earn a badge for doing a makeover. Would you be willing to come in and treat 10 9-year-olds to makeovers? I think the look on my face kind of stunned her. But I said, I'd be glad to if you can bring their mothers. And she gave me her name and number. Well, the woman in back of me goes, you're with Mary Kay? I said, yes. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I got to come to Dunkin' Donuts more often. And she said, I'm a nurse over at the local hospital, and I would love you to come in and treat the nurses to that Satin Hands product. It's Nurses Appreciation Week. I said, I'd be glad to. And I took her name and number. Well, the guy in back of her chimed in and he said, oh, you're with Mary Kay. I'm like, whoa. He said, my sister loves your products. In fact, the other week, we were talking about Mary Kay. I said, really? He said, yes. She's the local funeral director, and she said they look great on her clients. I'm like, what? He said, yes, you have some kind of face makeup that she said really makes the skin brighten up. I'm like, okay. And he said, but I want to give you her name and number because she needs some new products. And I took the name and number. Well, here's the kicker to the story, the moral of the story. If I had not followed up, nothing would have happened. I followed up with the Girl Scouts, did the makeovers, and the gal who I met in line decided she wanted to be part of Mary Kay and signed an agreement. The gal in back of me asked me if she could do this part-time because she wasn't making enough money as a nurse, and she became a consultant. I went and saw the funeral director. She bought almost $2,000 worth of products and led me to 5 other funeral directors within a 20-mile radius. It was 8 months later, we earned our very first pink Cadillac. What are you doing to make the donuts, to get the sale? Are you doing the follow-up, or are you just thinking about it? Or are you afraid to do the follow-up? And so the card sits on your desk. Oh, I'm not sure whether they're in. Oh, I'm not sure, da-da-da-da. Oh, maybe I'll call her tomorrow. Oh, she may be in a meeting. Oh, he may be busy. Oh, I'm not sure he wants what I have. So what? My mother always said, if you didn't ask, you didn't get. If you don't ask, you don't know. Right now, I am sitting here with a person's information in front of me that I need to reach out to. Her name is Sheila Johnson. She was on CBS Good Morning Show last week. And on the show, I realized she was the woman, she's a billionaire who owns a group of hotels called the Salomon Group out of Virginia. Wouldn't you know that 5 years ago, I stayed in that hotel in Virginia because the Marriott needed a place to do an event, and they didn't want to stay on a Marriott property. They were merging with Starwood, and I did this Fascinate product with those 2 companies to help them understand their cultures. I went to the desk and I said, I love this hotel. It's beautiful. It's a boutique hotel. And I said, who are the investor owners? And she said, oh no, her name is Sheila Johnson. Not only did I see her on CBS, but I also saw her in the Wall Street Journal last week. And now, what do I need to do? I need to follow up with her because I want to interview her for my new book. Now, if I let this go, I will never know whether she will say yes or no. I don't know how to get in a hold of her, except I looked on LinkedIn and found one of her executive directors, and I'm reaching to him to see if I can get and make that connection. What are you doing that you need to elevate your business or your book or whatever it is that you're working on right now? The opportunities are there. With this Fascinate product, we teach people how to write a great about. If you go onto my LinkedIn, you will see my about. The about and up is what people look at. The rest, maybe. If you get a chance to go on mine, scroll down a little and watch my comedy skit, because that was the most fun I've ever done with speaking. The hardest, but the most fun. Here's a little tidbit that I'm going to give you. It's in my last book, that Fortune book. And I can send you this if you would like, when we get the names and everything of the people on here today. This is the best way to have a cup of coffee. So, Lou, when you get in front of this gal, what's your cup of coffee going to look like? Make it reasonable. But before you have this, make sure you go onto her LinkedIn and see if there's anything you have in common. Maybe she went to a college that you went to, or I met somebody the other day, they went to the same school as my son. Wow, did it make an impact with that person? We got to talk about the school. We got to talk a little bit about it. So it goes on and on. People don't use LinkedIn like they should. And most people's about page or their picture doesn't really say who they are or what they are. So this cup of coffee is invaluable. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you enjoy most about what you like to do? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Let's discuss some things we have in common, and that may come from what you've seen in LinkedIn. Now, what's your biggest challenge? You heard me ask that today. Most people won't give it. They're, in fact, when you go out into the networking or wherever you're going to meet people, and somebody says, "Oh, how are you doing?" What's your answer? Is it, "Oh, great"? Or is it, things are going well, but here's what I'm looking for? So, Lou, when you're out there, and Kane, while you're out there, what are you looking for? Tell them. It isn't an anybody, a who-body, a somebody. Who is it that you would love to be introduced to? Maybe it is a power partner or an influencer that now you can gather together. Smaller groups work. I've had a mastermind for years that has been so successful. It took my insurance business to the next level. When I was in Mary Kay, it took my Mary Kay business to the next level. We were one of the top teams in all the United States, not because I knew what color any woman wore on her face. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't want me to do makeovers on anybody. They'd look like clowns. But I knew how to teach a woman how to run a business. And there's a lot of women out there that are searching for something they can wrap their arms around. So what's your biggest challenge? Tell people. Don't be afraid to say, "Oh, things are okay, but here's what I need." How can I help you grow your business? What do you need today? Where is it that I can put my best effort? Kane, I'd love to learn more. Lou, I'm glad to help you in any way I can. Who can I introduce you to? Let me tell you a little bit about the organizations I belong to. One of the best places sometimes is a woman's organization. If you have anybody working for you that could go into a woman's organization, as I leave tonight, I'm founder and Jennifer was president of this organization. We're now at 60 members. there's a wonderful group of women that other women can speak in front of about their businesses, and Jennifer's speaking tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about the organizations I'm involved with. Toastmasters. I'm going to go back to Toastmasters till I'm blue in the face because it has brought me more business over the years. It's helped me to really ramp up my business. It's helped me bring me self-esteem and self-confidence. And it's the best kept secret because people don't have time. And who do you know who you could introduce me to? Because we all want introductions. What do you think of this postcard? Anybody have any thoughts? Is this helpful? Okay. So I double dare you. Come on, ask me some questions. Don't be scared. Don't back out. It's not too late. Come on. What can I answer for anybody on this call? Yes, Amy.
And I just want to say, and you guys, I promise that I am not on Jean MacDonald's payroll, but I have to say, do yourself a favor. You can find her through NIA. All of you are members. You can search for her by name, and I would just encourage you. I just want to say that from personal experience, she's not blowing smoke. She is really driven to help people connect, and she's helped me grow my NIA group. And I just wanted to say that. And I also just wanted to reflect and say again, because I want to get this into my brain, because I want to start using this line when I'm meeting people at networking events. How's it going? How's your business? It's going really well. This is what I need right now, or this is who I'm looking for right now. What a cool way to answer that.
You know, education will get you a job. Self-education will make you a fortune. So these are the tools in my toolbox that I can educate people with. I am so pleased to help anybody. I've been in business over 40 years. I have been in 4 businesses. I've had success. I have failed big. I mean, big, I've failed. I've picked myself up. I've played another game. And now I am at a place in my life where I'm willing to give whatever I can to help other people grow and stretch. When I was 24, I went to work in the insurance business, and the guy I went to work for said, there's 2 keys to success. He said, sit down and write this down. He said, first, you need to get your knees bloody. You need to get out there, meet the people, be in the trenches, just follow up, do the things you need that's going to build your business. It's going to take a long time. And then all of a sudden, you'll realize you've got that success. Your business is running with a rhythm that's unstoppable. And that second key is paying it forward. That's where I am in life. And I'm willing to share anything I can to help any of you grow. It's my legacy. Jennifer will tell you. That's why I started this group in 2018. That's why I'm part of NIA, because I was part of another major networking group nationwide, helping them grow. But now it was time to move on to something fresh, new, and really outstanding. And I think NIA really says it all.
Thank you so much for that, Jean. I have a question. So,
Yes.
the one thing that really hit home for me today was the importance of the follow-up. And it's something that we, at corporate here, try to express to our franchisees, obviously, what's so important about that. And what I see with not, just franchisees, lots of us are just naturals, but a lot of people in general, they have certain hangups about the follow-up. Like do you have any advice on kind of getting around that fear or whatever it is that prevents people from just picking up the phone or, saying hi to a prospect?
So here's what I would say to you. If you're having a day where you need to pick up the phone, Call one of your 5 happy faces that know, like, and trust you, and let them give you crap for not doing it. In other words, get off your ass and make that call.
Yeah.
Right? And then it kind of gives you the power, or read something that's an affirmation. And I say that when I go back to this fascinate piece, because if you're heading into something, tough challenges are no problem because I, blah, 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 can develop solutions. Have some type of affirmation that's going to help you pick up that phone. I've never had a problem with picking up the phone because at 12 years old, my father was airlift commander, and the phone would ring at our house, and it could be a general, it could be the vice president, it could be a colonel, whoever it would be, because my dad would be on call. And I had one of those little pink pads, and I felt like $1,000,000 being able to take down the message and relay the call. But not everybody's had that training. So call somebody you know, like, and trust and say, listen, I have to get on the phone with this. What would you say? Now, if you can't do that, that tells me you're not in business and you're running a hobby. Are we running a business? Are we trying to grow? Or do we want to set ourselves apart? Then we have to pick up that phone. It may weigh 100 pounds. I'm going to tell you, if you like chocolates, put 5 M&Ms on the front of your desk, and every time you make a call and you connect with somebody, you can eat one of those M&Ms. Sounds silly. If you love M&Ms, I used to do that with my Berry Cake gals, and they loved it. But it's just, you got to give yourself a challenge. So that would be my challenge, 5 M&Ms, maybe 10.
You've gamified the follow-up. That's excellent.
Yes. Yes. But if anybody, my new book, I have it on my website. You can get a copy of it. I'm running a sale right now. They're $10, and we'll get you a nice hard copy of it. There's an ebook. I don't have it in audio, but there is an ebook also. But it is definitely a real challenge with people. I also do in the book, here's something real special, how to run a trade show. How do you really maximize a trade show? It's like a 3-ring circus. And if you know how to master it, you will make a fortune. We did a trade show in West Springfield, New Jersey. Massachusetts. It's one of the largest. It's called the Big E. I don't know, 500,000 people come through. It's 10 days. We put the pink Cadillac in there and filled it with balloons. Everybody that walked by our place got a pink bag. We had 20 gals running that booth for 10 days. You can't believe the business we did because I was so strict about the follow-up. It wasn't just standing there and handing out bags. That we had to make our money back. Those trade shows are expensive. Are you there for a cup of coffee and a cute little Halloween trick-or-treating stuff? Or are you there to make money? Ask Jennifer. I helped her with a booth not too long ago. I helped her make connections. She got food poisoning. So I stood in her booth and helped her find some solutions. And we got some new clients for her, at least some prospects and some people that she can partner with. So what are you doing different? So this slide here says, identify your uniqueness, build your authority, leverage your skills. This assessment that I do, what I'm doing for NIA, and it's going to be on the NIA site too. I was asked if I could do this. Normally it's $280. And if anybody's interested, it's $230. It's a full book that I do. It's 2 hours of a workshop that I do. And I like to do them individually. I'll do them in groups. But I will tell you, when you get done, you will have a new LinkedIn. You will have a bio. We will have a selling proposition to help you wrap your arms around this. I guarantee you that as I sit here, I've been doing this a long time, and I will never let you down. And in closing, I'd like to say, to become more successful, don't change who you are. Become more of who you are. Don't change who you are. You're the best you can be. What makes you different? What do you do best? Go out there and show us who you are so we can understand what to buy from you or what service you provide. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm so honored to be here. Can I answer any other questions for anybody?
Speak now or forever hold your peace. Feel free to unmute if you got anything. I'll just say this, Jean, this was a really uplifting discussion. I feel a bit more centered and a bit more focused on what my messaging needs to be. And yeah, it's really no excuses. You guys really got to get out there and, spread your brand and let people know what makes you different. I love it. I love it.
Hey, Jean, this is Jason with First Choice Home Inspectors. We met before. I've listened to your speak probably 3 or 4 times, and every time I get something new. So I just want to thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, Jason. It's good to see you again. Thank you so much. Yes, you have your hand up. I think it's who put their hand up? Somebody.
Allison.
Oh, I'm sorry, Allison. I missed it.
No, I literally just did. Took this long to build up the courage. I would like to ask the 2 people that have worked with you, what persuaded them, like what got them over the line to reach out for help?
I can answer that. So I got to know Jean. I just got to know Jean through networking and through people in the same area. And she did not try to sell to me. We were having coffee or lunch, and I said, yeah, I think this would be fun. And I think it would be beneficial. And I'm always down for insights that I haven't seen before, that self-education like she was talking about. So I thought it was a fun process.
Yeah, and I started working with Jean. I met her the same way, kind of networking and through other people. And the Fascinate, really, it was sort of like, well, I'll try this. I like that kind of thing. And it was unbelievably helpful. And her insights, it was beyond just getting one of these tests and reading what the answers are and saying, oh, this means this. She sat down with me and we went through exactly what everything meant and how I could use it in my business. And at that point, it was like, yeah, I want to learn more. So that's when we started our relationship. It's been really, really beneficial.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer and Amy.
Right on. All right, y'all. I do want to point your attention to the chat. If you would like a list of today's participants and you want to share your contact information, LinkedIn, phone number, email, whatever it is, go ahead and click that link in the chat. You'll receive a CSV file once everyone's signed up. Right now, we got about 50% of folks. So this is your final chance. If you would like, go ahead and click that link. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in there one more time. And thanks again, Ms. Jean MacDonald. This was awesome. And the replay will be available on networkingaction.com, Vimeo, and YouTube. And of course, everyone feel free to join us on the 1st, 3rd, and 4th Wednesday of every month for our Network with the Nations, our Sales Mastery, and our Focus Forum / Speaker Series. Jean, once again, thank you so much. This was awesome.
You're so very welcome. I'm so pleased to be here. And if anybody wants to talk to me offline, I'll put my email in the chat.
Right on. Once again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jean MacDonald. Thanks again. All right. And looking forward to seeing you guys on the next. Have a great week. Bye now.
Thank you.